dream of peace, dream of a victory for Volodymyr Zelensky's Ukraine. You dream of all manner of things. Imagine dreaming of desperate people being deported against their will to a country that they may never have heard of before. Dreaming of that. And living in a country, or rather living in a bubble, where relishing that prospect is not just acceptable, but even perhaps admirable. Sitting there, being interviewed by someone from the Daily Telegraph, sitting there, smiling and smirking, grinning and gurning, while essentially describing the delight you would take in trafficking people against their will to the other side of the world. People who may well be genuine refugees, because they don't even start the process under this despicable policy. They don't even start the process of assessing the application until they get to Africa. And if the process is successful, if the application is successful, they stay in Rwanda. Even Tories trumpeting their support for this policy didn't understand that when they were trumpeting it. Priti Patel's policy, inherited by Suella Braverman, who, even her predecessor, Priti Patel, has turned upon Liz Truss already, but Braverman turned upon Priti Patel, accused her and Boris Johnson of not doing enough to end immigration. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And it is moments like this when you realise how far we've fallen. You know the old adage about boiling a frog, or the incremental nature of decline. If someone turned up and handed you the end product, we'd take to the streets in protest. But when it happens drip by drip, when it happens step by step, when it happens, by degree, we don't notice. And now you've got somebody, an actual Home Secretary, not saying something which I would find pretty repellent, but would at least be something you could file under plausible, saying something like, it's terrible that it's come to this, but the system simply cannot sustain these levels of application, and therefore the Rwandan policy is a necessary step that we have to take. At least perhaps even pretending to be doing it reluctantly, or to be doing it through necessity rather than desire, but to dream of it, to dream of deporting people who may well have fled war, famine, flood, pestilence. We want to keep the biblical theme going. Genuine refugees, real asylum seekers. Well, everyone is a real asylum seeker until the application is complete. Successful asylum seekers, genuine refugees, dreaming of deportations. Have another listen to those two speeches. And then I think I'm going to ask you, what is wrong with this woman? That's all. What on earth is wrong with her? How can anybody have ended up this curdled and cruel? Not simply by supporting a policy that all right-minded people, certainly all people who lay claim to any form of genuine religious faith, must find disgusting. Not that. I can understand how your head might have been boiled so completely that you are persuaded that the main threat to this country is posed by people who are desperate to live here. It's not the support for the policy, it's the delight in its implementation. It's the idea that when most of us dream of winning the lottery or seeing our football team lift the FA Cup, Suella Braverman lies in bed at night dreaming of deporting completely innocent and decent fellow human beings. What the hell is wrong with her? 0345 6060 973. Because here are those two dreams. First of all, Martin Luther King.
I have a dream. My four little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
And here is Suella Braverman, the current Home Secretary of the United Kingdom.
I would love to be here claiming victory. I would love to be having a front page of the Telegraph with a plane taking off to Rwanda. That's my dream. That's my dream. It's
When
my
will that
obsession.
happen?
That's my dream, it's my obsession. Why? What's wrong with her? What happened? Who hurt her? How does someone end up in a position like this?